Okay, as you can see here, pretty rough night last night in Cleveland for the Knicks. And unlike the usual format of just, you seeing plain picture of insert Knicks person thing, here I have decided to break down kind of what I think is going wrong with the Knicks so far in their inability to defeat actual contending caliber teams. Now, that is, of course, on defense. And one thing in specific on the defensive end is their pick and roll defense. Now, when it comes to pick and roll defense for the Knicks, Tom Thibodeau is a guy who, when you look at him, he looks like an old head. Okay, he just does. Just look at him. Okay, I mean, look at him right there next to Mitch. Okay, this guy is old. Okay, he wants to play old head basketball on defense, and what does that entail? He likes to keep it a 2-on-2 kind of game in terms of pick and roll defense. Now, I will be using a very accurate Microsoft Paint drawing to kind of describe what this means. Okay, so imagine we have ball handler X right here. Okay, and he has defender circle. Okay, now let's bring over screen setter X to screen right here. Ignore that. I'm drawing with a mouse. It's not very easy. Anyways, you have screen defender circle, and then you have your shooters. Let's say we have one over, oh, I don't know, here, here, and you got a gun dunker spot here. Okay. Of course, you have defenders on them, ready to, move with them, help out. That circle is very bad. Oh my goodness. That's more like it. Okay, so let's say, for example, last night, ball handler X right here is Donovan Mitchell, and circle is, let's say, Mikal Bridges. Now, screen setter X, let's say Jared Allen, and defender Karl Anthony Towns. Now, what is going to happen here is, of course, Jared Allen sets a screen on Mikal Bridges. Donovan Mitchell moves over here, and Mikal Bridges he's going to have to fight over. Okay, and of course, typical basketball concept. What's going to happen is Mikal Bridges this year, and really just in general, he is a very long and lanky kind of guy. So, and we saw last game versus Chicago, his lanky arms do help out. He blocked Vucevic on a potential game-winning kind of turnaround baby hook. So that is good. But one thing he does not have is like the strength an OG does. And we have been running Mikal as the point of attack defender. Okay, so he is going to be the one that has to navigate these screens. And of course, like I said, not as physical. He's going to get a little caught on it while he's fighting through. Now, what is going to happen here? Well, Donovan Mitchell is going to get a little bit of space. And since, as I said, we're playing 2-on-2 basketball here, yes, these guys are obviously, there's three other guys. Of course, it's 5-on-5. But in a vacuum, pick and roll defense for the Knicks boils down to 2v2. So what's going to happen here is Donovan Mitchell is going to get this screen. He's going to get a little bit of daylight. Okay? And he's going to take the ball and he's going to start driving. Now, what is going to happen next? Screen defender Karl Anthony Towns is going to have to kind of backpedal to try and keep up with Donovan Mitchell. And this here lies the issue. Karl Anthony Towns is being put in drop coverage, which I love Karl Anthony Towns. He is the best center the Knicks have had since Patrick Ewing. However, one thing he cannot, for the life of, I don't know, many, many orphans do, is play defense, more specifically, when he is backpedaling. He cannot do it. It's year 10, he still can't. That's just not his game. So, when you're playing 2-on-2 and Karl Anthony Towns is the center, this is what's going to happen. He's going to backpedal, and Donovan Mitchell is going to be right here. Mikal Bridges, he's eventually going to get over the screen, and he's going to be on his back. So, he has a one-on-one, essentially, with Karl Anthony Towns. Now, how can we kind of mitigate this? Well, we can look at circle defender over here, and he can go help out in the paint. However, one tiny little issue with that is he's still guarding this guy. Now, what is this guy going to do when he sees his defender go and help out Karl Anthony Towns in the paint? Well, he's going to see that he's shading over, and he's going to go out to the three-point line. And what is Donovan Mitchell going to do? Well, he sees there's two defenders in the paint. He is going to throw it over to this guy for a wide-open three-pointer, which happened a lot. Now, let's say, for example, I don't know, maybe he doesn't see him. Okay, well, guess what? We still have pick Jared Allen right here. Now, what is he going to do? He's going to start to roll. And guess what? When you have two guys right collapsing in the paint, he can simply just throw the ball to Jared Allen right here. And now guess what? he's going to go throw it over to the 3 point line. Or let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we could just get rid of all this, and circle follows X over here. Wide open paint. Karl-Anthony Towns is there. Yes. However, as we've said before, cannot play defense. So what we have here is a 2-on-1, because we're going to have Donovan Mitchell versus Karl-Anthony Towns and a Jared Allen rolling directly to the paint. So it's kind of just pick your poison. Do you want Donovan Mitchell to hit a pull-up mid-ranger? Do you want him to just simply stop his dribble, go up for it, and have Mikal Bridges whack him in the back for 2 free throws? Or do you want him to just oop it to Jared Allen? That essentially was our issue yesterday, and for pretty much every single game we've played a Contender. This is what they do. They run pick and rolls, Cat is in drop coverage, and we just get absolutely eviscerated. Now, with all of this really in mind, this really is the main issue versus Cleveland. That bag of worms is, of course, concerning. However, the bag of worms gets even worse when we play our good friends up north in the Boston Celtics. Now, what happens versus the Celtics is a little bit different than what happens versus, the Cavs. And why is that really? It's for one main reason. I unfortunately I have to get rid of good old X here in the dunker spot, but long live X dunker spot man. Anyways, what the Celtics going to do is they're just going to put 5 guys in directly on the 3 point line, and of course that is not very good because once again, let's say Jason Tatum, guarded by Mikal Bridges, is getting a screen from Al Horford. Okay, we know what's going to happen. Mikal's going to struggle to get over it, and then guess what? Instead of rolling, guess what Al Horford can do? Al Horford can just pop. Okay, then Karl-Anthony Towns is going to have to either follow him or Jason Tatum is going to have a wide open, just direct drive into the paint. So you either have Karl-Anthony Towns going to follow Al Horford to try and prevent that 3 pointer, or you can have what Tom Thibodeau does. He does love his rim protection. So we're going to go and kind of backpedal. Once again, he's awful at that. To try and follow Jason Tatum into the paint. Guess what's going to happen? Al Horford is butt naked at the 3 point line. Just absolutely no one even the same zip code. So what is going to happen? Either Al Horford is going to shoot the shot, or guess what? Mikal Bridges, go recover onto Al Horford. Then guess what? Ball gets swung over to Circle Guy over here, who was moving. And now X is going to have to go move to him. And pretty much it's just a whole kind of long-winded, rotation battle where we are going to lose. We do not have the numbers. Someone is going to get wide, and I mean wide open for 3. And that's really what's been happening every time we play the Boston Celtics. We just get absolutely just blitzed, and I mean blitzed. It's not even close out there. They're getting wide open 3s every time down. Peyton Pritchard is looking like Stephen Curry out there, okay? Jason Tatum, I know people like to make fun of him, the anomaly, YBG Tatum, whatever. He is looking like LeBron James out there, okay? He is getting whatever he wants. Last time Madison Square Garden, he was walking us down. I have never seen a player look that. That must have been like when Michael Jordan was looking like back in the day, okay? Because he was just absolutely roasting us. And, stupid Microsoft Paint drawing aside, it just doesn't work. It just does not work, okay? And so, what can we do in terms of our defensive coverages to kind of, obviously I don't think we have the roster to beat either Boston or Cleveland. But what can we do to make it closer? Well, great question that you definitely did not ask. But just a couple of notes. In terms of Karl-Anthony Towns, we cannot play him in drop coverage. You cannot do it. It's not sustainable. It is not successful. We will lose by a lot if we continue to have this be a big part of our defense. He cannot backpedal. He cannot do it. It's like I said, it's not his game. Okay, so what can we do with Cat? Well, I suppose we could try switching, because I don't love Karl-Anthony Towns one-on-one on the perimeter, but I like that significantly more than I like Karl-Anthony Towns backpedaling. And we've all seen the Microsoft Paint drawings. Okay, someone's gonna get a wide open shot somewhere. Okay, so just switch it. Okay, let's try and make Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, whoever. Let's just have him have to cook. All right, that's better than just wide open stuff. Now, the guy that most people are mad at is Tom Thibodeau. What can he do? Well, like I said, we can't keep playing drop, okay? We have to try something else. We have to adjust. And Tom Thibodeau is many things. And one thing I think that he is, I think he's too trustworthy, okay? Like he trusts Cat a little too much, okay? And, obviously as a coach you want to trust your guys. That's a good thing. But when something is not working, you have to make a change, okay? I trust Cat to be out there, but I don't trust him in drop coverage. We need to do something, okay? And Tom Thibodeau, to this point in the season, every time we play a contender, we look thoroughly outmatched. Every contender, Cleveland, OKC, Boston, they have so many pivots. So many pivots. Does Tom Thibodeau have many pivots? Not really. No, we do the same thing. And therein lies the issue. You need to be able to pivot and move on the fly, okay? You can get away with doing this versus, oh, I don't know, Utah or Portland. You cannot do this versus the best teams in the NBA, and that is where you want to be. And outside of those two, I don't like to pick on Mikal Bridges, but he's just got to be more physical, dude. Like you see him, okay? It's not even just on defense, like on offense. The man does not drive to the paint. He's always settling for mid-rangers. Granted, he makes them at a good clip. But the fact that he's just seemingly unwilling to go to the cup, absorb some contact, it's concerning. Because on defense, you're going to have to absorb contact on screens. It seems like he's afraid of contact. And when you trade 5 first for a guy, that's not a good thing. But that's really the main kind of point I'm trying to get at here. We simply need to be significantly better on defense. And, other teams watch film. They watch basketball. They know that they can do this. And the fact that this is simply being put on film every single night, it's going to make us more prone to losing to bad teams. Look at a guy like Trae Young, okay? He's a very flawed player, okay? But guess what? When he sees this as your pick and roll coverage, he's going to light you up for 40 in like 15, okay? He's done it every time. It's very annoying. Like, I really don't like when he shows up to MSG and just drops, whatever ridiculous stat line on our head tops and just, starts doing annoying stuff, celebrations, people saying he owns the Knicks with a losing record, okay? I don't like seeing that, okay? We need to get serious here, okay? Please try other stuff, okay? Learn from your weaknesses. Learn from your mistakes, okay? Because contenders, that's what they do. The Boston Celtics lost to the Miami Heat in 2023, okay? And what happened was they just got out physicaled, okay? They were kind of soft in comparison to the Heat. So what do? Do they just sit on their laurels? No, they went and built a super team. Okay, they adjusted. Did they get less soft? I mean, maybe. I don't. Drew Holiday's pretty tough, so I think they did. But I mean, Porzingis and TBD. But he didn't even play. Okay, and they still walked through the East. Okay, they adjusted. They improved. That's what we need to do. Okay, we need to try different looks. We simply need to try more things. Because, who knows? Maybe you find something that works. Although, one thing I know for a fact that does not work, please, for the love of God, Tom Thibodeau, I am praying to God. Please never play Precious Achiuwa at the 4 ever again, okay? If I see one more minute of this, I am going to go to the George Washington Bridge, and you're going to see me on the 5 o'clock news, okay? I cannot do this anymore. It is awful. Never do it again, okay? I like Precious Achiuwa at the 5, okay? He's a solid backup player. Please stop starting him at the 4. He's not good at the 4. He's not good at it. You all saw last game. He was smoking layups. I mean, my goodness, dude. It's not his game. Do not play him at the 4. Okay. Matter of fact, I actually think he could be pretty good at the 5. Because look at this whole thing, okay? The problem is, Cat does not have the lateral quickness to backpedal. Okay? And one thing Precious does have, I will give him credit. He can switch, okay? He is very versatile in terms of his defensive abilities at the 5. However, once you put him at the 4, sure, he's still pretty versatile. He could guard most 4s. They're just gonna leave him alone on offense. Okay, and now Jalen Brunson is driving into a paint with like 6 guys somehow. I know there's only 5 guys out there, but it just seems like there's like 43 guys in the paint, and he has to just make some absolute miracle out of thin air. Okay, so never do that again. Please, no more Precious Achiuwa at the 5. Okay, let's start a hashtag. Okay, no more Precious at the 4. Okay, And in terms of roster moves, okay, obviously the trade deadline is over. However, we do have one guy. Ignore the frog and toad there. Anyways, our good friend Mitchell Robinson. Hopefully, when he comes back, I mean, it can't possibly get worse, you know? So, the Wolves ran Gobert and Towns, and it worked. Okay, so hopefully we can kind of find a little bit of magic in a bottle here and, play Mitch and Tat, Tat, Cat in the same lineup, and hopefully something will work. Red Cross is right. Red Cross is right. He is very injury prone. Anyway, my glorious King Mitch Robinson, longest tenured New York Knick, please save us. We kind of need him to work a miracle here. Unfortunately, he's not going to. We're going to lose in the second round, but hopefully he can make us look more competitive. That's really the main thing here. Let's just look more competitive. I understand. We're just not as good as their teams, and it's fine. It's taken them years to get to this point. It's going to take us years. Please be patient. I understand being upset in the moment, but don't make general, you know, blanket statements saying, "Oh my God, we ruined our future." No, we're fine. It's annoying in the moment. Yes, I got a little worked up here, but understand. Bigger picture. We're gonna have some pivots this offseason. We're gonna be able to build a better roster. Hopefully, one where Carlton Towns doesn't need to be in drop coverage. Every game. At least I hope so. But anyways, just a quick little, talking sesh about why our defense sucks. And hopefully, Tom Thibodeau, I know you're not watching this, but hopefully someone tells you this stuff.